Carolina lands a punter and a former 4-star wide receiver out of the 2025 class, transferring from the Colorado Buffaloes, who was also committed to 4 other schools in the past year and a half, 2 years.
You don't want none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Ross the Tar Heel, and we've got some more portal action going on, starting with the news of Pflugerville, Texas. Wide receiver Adrien Wilson committing to the University of North Carolina after transferring away from Neon Deion and the Buffs of Colorado. Now, the interesting thing about this is that he was committed to TCU the summer prior to his junior year before changing his decision and committing to the Oregon Ducks. But wait, there is more. He then withdrew his commitment the next spring before committing to Arizona State when he went there on an official visit. But when Neon Deion came a-calling a little bit later, guess what my guy did? You guessed it, he decommitted and pledged his short-lived allegiance to the Buffs, man. Went through spring practice, and then following spring practice, he jumped in the portal again, landing with Bill Belichick and the mighty Tar Heels of North Carolina, man. And this is really an interesting pickup to me in that, yes, we just lost Christian Hamilton and Gavin Blackwell to the portal. And yes, this is a very talented kid, 4-star recruit, ranked the number 306 ranked player in his class, 40th ranked wide receiver in the entire country, 43rd ranked player in the football state of Texas, according to the 24/7 composite. Kid's listed at 6'1", 6'2", depending on where you look. I've seen a $165. I've seen 175. He's got strong hands, catches the ball well in traffic, adjusts to underthrown footballs. You'll look at his highlight tape and see that he catches the ball with his hands. Really good threat in the back of the end zone. A lot of things you'll see is kind of staggers and getting up the sideline. So he could very well be a really good player for this North Carolina team. But it's kind of interesting to a certain extent, because Carolina is in the midst of what some would say, myself included, is a quarterback dearth in Carolina Blue. I mean, Max Johnson is a guy with clear experience, but he's coming off of a horrific leg injury, so we don't know what his status is going to be, come September 1st. Bryce Baker is obviously an uber-talented kid, but, is he up to par mentally with the concepts being thrown at him to take the reins in year one? That's, to be determined. And then Ryan Brown just entered the transfer portal. Newkirk should be here in the fall, but there's not many people expecting him to come in and take the job per se, especially after missing spring ball. So getting a fairly highly touted wide receiver out of the portal, come to a team with, quarterback issues is pretty interesting to me. Obviously the kid's a true freshman. He's got 4 years of eligibility remaining, so this is not a one-year decision. And maybe he's even ready to just take the bumps with Bryce in year one. I don't know, man. Spend the next 3 to 4 years together. Who knows? But you really can't argue with the 4-star receiver coming to your team. It's just not necessarily what the team is really struggling at or with at this point, man. Nonetheless, welcome to the Hill, AWil. Here's to loyalty, hard work, in at least 3 years, and Carolina Blue as a Tar Heel young man. Next up, North Carolina gets a commitment from former Eastern Illinois punter Jacob Horvath, another Aussie. So Tom is going to have some competition and hopefully some good fellowship in the punter's room. Now, Horvath has pretty good numbers, okay? He averaged 44.3 yards, per punt with a long of 76 last year, and he was named to the second team of the All Big South OVC in 2024. The kid pinned 12 punts inside the 20, and he actually had 15 that went over 50 yards. So hopefully this is something that can solve the punting troubles that absolutely plagued the Mac Brown era. I mean, not just obviously the punt formations that we ran, and continually allowed teams to block our punts, but the Aussie style punting that we would do, man. Now, I couldn't find any tape, obviously, on Horvath. Not really something that you're going to put on YouTube, per se. But here is to hoping that we actually trash that rugby-style punt. Call it what you want, man, but that's just a personal preference. This is American football, man. And last but not least, a little bit of unfortunate news. North Carolina's lost their 13th player in redshirt sophomore tight end Julien Randolph to the transfer portal. He was a 3-star guy out of Virginia and the 16th ranked tight end in the nation in his respective class. Now, last year Randolph saw very limited action. Didn't take any offensive snaps, if I'm not mistaken. It was strictly special teams. But at 6'5", 245 pounds, he's got a really good frame, man, to split out wide and kind of do that Bryson Nesbitt ordeal, like a split in. But he's still got enough ass to be in tight. So it's kind of unfortunate to see the young man go. But with 7 other tight ends that are currently on the roster, including, the former 4-star Jake Johnson, Randolph may have just believed that he could get some actual offensive snaps elsewhere. I don't know, man, because, from what we're hearing out of camp, and guys that are kind of close to the program, it seems like there's going to be a lot of multiple tight end sets. So once again, this is kind of, an interesting guy to enter the portal, given that he may very well have gotten a lot of burn. Maybe he just doesn't think that the offensive scheme fits his skill set. I don't really know. But Julien Randolph enters the portal, and obviously best of luck as always to the young man, even though once again I can't stand to see these guys think and leave, man. So there it is, Tar Heel Nation. There is your 6 p.m. update on April 17, 2025. Carolina's got 13 players that have headed out, and we got 3 players that have come in. A linebacker, a wide receiver, and a punter. Still no defensive tackle, still no offensive tackle, still no quarterback, and still no replacement for Bo Atkinson. So, meet me down in the comment section and let me know what you think about these guys as we continue to stink and shuffle this deck. It is a great day to be a Tar Heel, and we'll catch you on the next one, boys. Go Heels.